Welcome into the Sports Zone. I am Andrew here on this beautiful Monday, April the 24th. Alongside me, as always, is Hunter.
Hey, how you doing out there?
And this is the final week that we have of the Sports Zone here on this wonderful Power 90.5 radio station.
It really is, and it's been a good experience, you know. I know a lot of schools around the country have stuff going like this, but it really gives our communication students here good hands-on experience. And they'll be dealing with a slightly different frequency soon, but, you know.
Yeah, bigger and better, 95.3. Don't know the music. Don't know a lot of things about it, but, and eventually when the Natural Science Building is built, I've heard the radio station will move into it as well.
Oh, really?
I think that's supposed to be completed in around 4 years.
Okay.
So that'll be interesting to come back and see with friends who are going to be alumni by that, or seniors by that time, what the station looks like.
Yeah, and good luck to future communication students out there. Wonderful program. Wouldn't change my mind if I had a chance.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. And great thanks to Craig and Travis, the coordinators here at Power 90.5, allow me to wear these wonderful T-shirts. Even though it's a radio show, you know, you got to sport amazing memorabilia. It's a Michael Phelps and American Bald Eagle shirt that says "Just Deal with It," and it's Michael Phelps. You know, everybody saw the picture of him with the hoodie on from the Olympics when he had those the circles on his arms from the suction therapy that he was doing to, you know, loosen up, get the blood flowing and all that. It's that picture, and it just really sums up everything I feel that the show's about, which is just crazy really in sports.
Is. But leading off with the show, I have a question for Andrew.
Wonderful.
And if you would like to call in and answer, the number is 828-227-7173.
Now, is this a trivia question?
It is a trivia question, actually.
For baseball. You said it was for baseball earlier.
Yes, it is a baseball trivia question.
Okay, baseball might be my weakest trivia sport just because there's so many, you know, baseball's so many different numbers and stats. It's really an analytics-driven sport. Depending on how you want to look at it. But I'll give it my best shot.
All right. And I'll give you to about the end of the second segment.
Oh, geez.
To get your answer.
So I can Google it. No one will ever know.
You're not going to Google it because I'm going to watch you.
Okay.
So, anyway, who is the only active player still in the league today that played for the Montreal Expos?
The Expos?
Yes.
Wow.
Now remember, you have till the end of the second segment.
Okay. I don't know if I'm going to get that.
Have
even
I stumped
with that
you
much
on this
time.
one? Usually I don't stump you with my questions.
Well, if it was a few years ago, I would have said Vlad Guerrero.
No, it wouldn't have been him. Well, I mean, it can't be him because he's not active.
It wouldn't be him anymore. But if you would have asked name a player who was active a few years ago from the Expos, I would have said Guerrero. But, wow, so he's got to be pretty old.
Yes, and it's not active as in the sense as they haven't officially retired, but they're not on a team. This player is on a team.
Is it Bartolo Colon?
It is.
Oh, wow.
You got it right.
I was thinking of I was thinking of old players. I was like.
But anyway, I mean, if anybody wanted to call in, that's why I said
it's Bartolo Colon.
Till the end of the second segment in case anybody wanted to call in and ask, but you ruined it.
I assume you think I didn't, or I assume you think I wasn't going to get it.
I didn't.
Or else you weren't going to give me that much time.
Yeah, I didn't think you were going to get it, but anybody that wanted to call in, you can still call in and give us your answers, but you know the right answer.
Tell us about your favorite Montreal Expos moment.
Yeah, there you go.
As long as it's not from when they moved to Washington.
That
became the Nationals.
That was one of the smartest decisions they ever made.
You know, I went to a Nationals game a few years ago. They were playing the Pittsburgh Pirates.
They probably won.
They did.
Yeah,
they did.
They win.
Or no, they were playing
game.
the San Francisco Giants.
Well, they probably still won.
No, the Giants won. It doesn't matter who won the game. It was a good game. First Major League Baseball game I went to. The reason I said Pirates is because I wore a Pirate shirt that my dad told me there weren't going to be any Pirates fans around. And there were multiple Pirates fans. Really? I don't know what they were doing in Washington. I don't know what I was doing wearing my Pirate shirt in Washington, but it all worked out.
All right, well, let's change the question.
Oh, another question.
Let's just change it. If you out there have a favorite sports moment, why don't you call in and tell us about it? Number's the same at 828-227-7173.
Yeah, it hasn't changed in the 5 minutes since you last said it.
No, it hasn't.
But I feel like it was important to say it again. So let's get on with the first topic. That was a good question. I honestly didn't. I had to think about it a little bit. I think of old baseball players, and
he is pretty old.
Realistically, to be around with the Expos and still be playing, probably a pitcher of some sort,
Yes.
relief pitcher or starter. But
And he actually wasn't even drafted by the Expos.
that's how old he is.
Yes.
Is that
He wasn't
Wow.
even drafted by the Expos.
wasn't drafted but still played with them.
Yep.
Anyways, yesterday in the Boston Red Sox Baltimore Orioles game that the Sox won 6-1, a little bit of controversy ensued in the 8th inning when pitcher Matt Barnes for the Red Sox threw behind the head of Baltimore Orioles third baseman Manny Machado. The score was 6-1 when that happened. Ended up being 6-2 by the final score of the game. But it reportedly was retaliation for a Friday play when Machado spiked Dustin Pedroia sliding into second base.
Okay, now that I know what it's retaliation from,
That's
okay.
That's what they say. Barnes didn't say was retaliation. Said I just missed. John Farrell says that he argued the call of him being ejected. Pedroia was saying it's not me. I didn't order this to happen. But we saw a few days earlier with Miguel Sano
Yes.
of the Twins getting angry at Detroit Tigers for throwing behind him. And that caused a little bit of a dugout scuffle between the Tigers and Twins. Baseball is too dangerous of a sport to be doing those kinds of things still. Is it not? When maybe a long time ago, not everybody was throwing 90 mile an hour fastballs. But this is a different game. You can seriously do some damage to someone if you hit them the wrong way. You can take them out for a month.
Yeah, and it can get kind of dangerous in situations like this. But if you have those veterans in your dugout, there used to be this old unspoken rule of baseball. You got to stick up for your man. And it goes back to if like one of your players gets hit by a pitch, you go out there the next inning, you drill someone else with a pitch.
Well, that's the thing. You said next inning. This is 2 days later.
This was 2 days later. This is a little excessive.
That's where it becomes wrong.
Yeah.
Is when you wait. That's like waiting to punish your kid after they mess up a few days. Or your dog. They don't know what they do wrong. At that point, they've already forgotten the kid or the dog or a baseball player. But I mean, if you're going to retaliate,
do it that game.
Do it that game.
Yeah, and I mean,
it's like we all love the Rougned Odor thing from last year because it was an interesting story.
Yeah.
But it wasn't fair to Jose Bautista either that they waited so long to get retaliation. They waited till the next season.
Yeah, they did.
So, I mean, I know the series ended on a high note or whatever, so there wasn't much opportunity for retaliation, but you've gotten over it by that point.
Yeah, to me, you can't wait so long, like you said, Andrew. It's got to be within the next few innings. I mean, if you're trying to do it to that certain guy, you might wait until, he comes up to bat or
you can find someone else, especially on the Orioles, they have a pretty good team. Chris Davis, you could do it.
Yeah, you don't have to. It's just sticking up for your players, which I understand that. But do it that game. Don't wait so long. It kind of gets old.
Well, that's the thing. Is it an old, outdated form of retaliation?
Is it old?
Yes. I think it's a grandfathered in system from when charging the mound used to be cool.
Yeah, and I don't think it's going to go away anytime soon either, because they're your family. You spend so many days with them. 162 games a year. That doesn't count the days you're traveling with them.
Spring training.
Yeah, spring training.
All-star break if you got teammates on that.
All-star break. You're pretty much with them the whole year except for a couple months during the off season. And even then, you're probably going and working out with them a couple times. So, I mean, it's more than teammates. I understand that. It's more like a family. But you got to do it that same game. You can't wait.
I'm just at the point where we saw Giancarlo Stanton a few years ago in what didn't seem like it was retaliation for anything. He took a fastball to the face.
Yeah.
Tore some of it. He tore his face up pretty bad. Still wears I believe to this day,
he wears
a guard
the chin guard
that protects part of his face. That changed his career. That kept him out for a long time.
Yeah.
I think it's when you have a weapon in your hand, like a baseball, more than any other sport. Not really hockey. You're not intentionally slapping a puck into somebody's face. You're high sticking them. Basketball, you throw an elbow, which is still dangerous, but it's not a 90 mile an hour
fastball.
Yeah, fastball or not. You ain't throwing your elbow at 90 miles an hour. And football, a late tackle, that could also do some damage. But how are you going to regulate late tackles or whatever in the NFL?
Yeah.
This is something you can regulate. And umpires do a fairly good job of throwing players out of the game when it's clear they're just trying to retaliate.
Yeah, and usually if someone gets hit next inning, someone else gets hit, it's usually a warning to both benches. But after that, if it happens again, you're gone the first attempt. Doesn't matter if it slipped or if you meant to do it, you're out. And they are trying to control it very well.
Yeah, umpires, in the situations where they know there's a history, they'll very much so not be as lenient and give both sides a warning. If it's blatantly obvious, you could get tossed with your first offense. But I just think retaliation's an old, archaic form of getting back at a player during a baseball game. And I think, not something necessarily needs to be done, but it needs to get through to the players' heads where it's not okay to do this anymore. So this has been the first segment of a wonderful final weekend here of the Sports Zone on Power 90.5, Colby's Classic Rock Station. We will be back after this.